our distinguished guest. I'm going to talk today about my trip to Europe. Flight 797, Flight 797, you'll be boarding in 15 minutes. As I heard this announcement over the PA system at age 13, I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm not only on the plane, which I had been on planes a few times, but never to Europe. Not knowing, for one, there would be a 17-hour flight, I was not mentally prepared. Back then, we didn't have the big earphones that cost $500, but we had the cheap $399 earphones that barely worked with a tape recorder, not an iPod, but you put a tape in it and you closed it and hoped that it would play. You all remember these times.
Oh, yeah.
So I didn't have hours of music like I would today where I could stream online and pay me on the plane to listen. So I was not prepared. I had one Run DMC CD. So on the way to Europe, by the time I got back, I could have been in the group, definitely. So as I'm sitting there, listening to the PA system, then they announce again, Flight 797, Flight 797, we're now boarding. On this trip was myself, my grandmother, my aunt, my cousins, about 4 of us, from age 80 all the way down to age 14. We were on our way to a World Baptist Convention. Now, for one, I've never been out of the country at this point, never been in Europe. I've been to a Baptist convention, but not a World Baptist Convention. So I had no idea what really to expect. So as we're flying from Chicago on the way to the Netherlands, which was our first stop, we land there in the Netherlands. I'm very excited to be somewhere I've never been before. I'm outside of America. I'm in the Netherlands. I'm expecting to see everybody walking around with a Dutch hat and little wooden turned-up shoes. Again, I learned this on TV or from my books in history classes. Of course, there were some people that were dressed like that at the airport just to show, but the people of the city did not wear wooden boots curled up, and then I had little Dutch hats on. And also, I had remember watching a movie, Trading Places, and there was one scene with Eddie Murphy's in the trading car, and then he was saying, "Do you speak into Dutch?" I don't know if you remember that movie or not, but in my mind, my perception was totally off of what I thought Dutch were going to be like, or people in the Netherlands. So I get there, and they had a great trade market. Women were able to buy purses that were name brand purses in America for like 70% off. So all the women flocked to the stores buying purses, like Louis Vuittons and nice purses for like $40, when they were here like $300, $400. So again, I'm 14 years old. I had not bought a gift like this for any female at this point. But I'm figuring for $30, I could make a come up here. I'll be the man in 8th grade when I get back home buying the girl a purse that costs this much money. I look like I'll be very wealthy. I did buy a very nice watch. They had these watches then called swatches where you can actually change the faces on them. So this is also back at the time we were in Lotto gym shoes. You could change the gym shoe colors. So I thought I was the man, right? So as we're doing this little shopping, and again, I had a little bit of money. The good thing was I found out that my amount of money transferred to more money over in the Netherlands. So although I had 100, maybe at that time I think it was like 175. So I'm thinking I'm doing really well. Again, I'm only 14 years old. I thought I had having 100 in the first place my mom gave me, I was just astounded. So then we finally take a flight from there, and this flight's totally different. As I announced, the first time I heard audible voices, seemed like from the sky, announcing this flight. The second time, there was a propeller flight that took us from the Netherlands to Glasgow, Scotland, where we really were going with to Scotland, just propeller. So this guy's like, not literally, but it was almost like, yo, let's just get on the plane. Now before we had to walk outside. It was no tunnel and all of that. We had to walk outside and walk across the tarmac and get in this little tiny plane. I've never been in a plane. It looked like a crop duster, is what I'm saying. So we finally climbed up the steps, get those little tiny planes, making all this noise with the propellers. At this point, you're just like, hopefully I make it safely. You're way past the point of just going back. I'm in the whole of the country. I can't go back. I have no choice but to get in this little small plane. So we finally get in a little small plane, make it to Scotland. Now, this is summertime, late July. Even in Michigan, late July is at least 85 degrees. In Scotland, it was totally raining and like 40 degrees. All I had was shorts and t-shirts. And you see my body size. I'm in the same size as the child. And not just that, but I get skinny. I need some weight on my body. So I'm freezing. So I had to buy clothes while I was there. I have, I think, one pair of Levi's. And I remember this so vividly because either they weren't selling these pants over there or they were just popular around the world, but people were literally trying to buy the clothes off of our backs. And they weren't like they were impoverished, like third world. Just didn't have these Levi's, didn't have the Adidas shoes we had on. They didn't have the sweatshirts we had with the sports team. So they just wanted to, we bought these things. So some people had some more clothes, had to borrow some, remember, oversized clothes. So again, while we're there, we're having a good time. The weather was totally different. When we got there in the bathrooms, they had pictures of naked people on the walls. It's a different, I'm 14, okay? So this was exciting to me, but at the same time, my dad being a pastor, I'm looking like, should I look at this or not? So we had a great time there that week. What really transpired during the week was pretty normal. We had a lot of meetings. I do want to point out one major thing that I thought was the most hilarious thing ever. I mentioned that I was going to a World Baptist Convention. Now, being black from Detroit, I've been to many Baptist churches, and they were all the same. We were hand clapping, tamarines, everybody jumps up and shout, pastors with robes. It's just a traditional way that we would celebrate it within that church in the Baptist tradition. Well, I'm thinking first of all, I'm asking, why is the World Baptist Convention in Scotland? As I'm going there, right? Of course, I'm thinking all Baptists were black is what I'm saying. So as I go into an auditorium with like 40,000 people of every nationality in the world, every race, every color, every possible weight size, everything, I realized that we were totally the minority at this conference. And it was like 10 of us and thousands of other people. But it was great to see that we can serve the same God around the world under the same tradition. And of course, moving down south the last 3 years, I got to see Southern Baptists, they have Bibles on their buildings outside. There's hellfire and brimstone. So my experience in Europe was just amazing. The flight coming back was a lot easier to me to understand and to be a part of because I flew there. But bringing all this together, it was just a great experience to me being 14. I've not again been out of the country since then. I've been invited to many weddings, destination places. Kind of scared of kidnapping people. But hopefully I'll get to go back again and I have the same experience and see something new that I didn't know. Because sometimes we think our minds are broad, but our surroundings make them limited. I do thank you.